Is it the end for Tottenham Hotspur head coach Antonio Conte after his explosive rant in his press conference after Spurs drew 3-3 away at Southampton? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all keeping well. So this is another edition of Spurs in the Media, where I'll be looking at today's newspapers, going through the reports. Southampton 3, Tottenham Hotspur 3. So let's get straight into it. On the back page of the Sunday Mirror today, it says here, Rantonio Conte, Spurs boss blasts selfish stars as Italian loses plot. It then goes on to say that Antonio Conte branded his players selfish and claimed there was a culture of failure at Tottenham in an extraordinary rant last night. And the Italian boss said the club needed to change the situation or the manager, as he seemed to challenge Tottenham Supremo Daniel Levy to sack him. Now, in the Sunday Mirror today, it's got this double-page spread, and it says here, nightmare neighbour, Ward-Prowse has last laugh against old pal from next door. Now, of course, Pedro Porro put Spurs 1-0 up, and then Che Adams equalised. And then, of course, Harry Kane scored a header, putting Spurs 2-1 up. Spurs were then in control. Ivan Perisic grabbing his first goal for the club, making it 3-1. Walcott pulling it back to make it 3-2. And then Ward-Prowse in the dying seconds from the penalty spot made it 3-3. In this report, it says that James Ward-Prowse scored a nerveless late penalty past his old neighbour to salvage a sensational draw for Southampton and send frustrated Tottenham home only with a point. Now, some stats here published by the Sunday Mirror today. No side has conceded more away goals since the Premier League restarted following the World Cup break than Tottenham. 14 goals. The Saints came from 2 goals down to avoid defeat for a second time in the Premier League this season. The other one was a 2-2 draw against Leeds. And Harry Kane has scored 9 headed goals in the Premier League this season, equaling Duncan Ferguson's single season record in the 1997-1998 season. Now, the player ratings today from the Sunday Mirror. Forster, they have given a 6 out of 10. Romero, a 7 out of 10. Dyer and Lenglet, both 6s. Pedro Porro, a 7. Oliver Skipp, a 6 out of 10. Højbjerg, a 6 out of 10. Ben Davies, a 5. They have given Richarlison, who of course went off injured after just a couple of minutes, they have given him a 4 out of 10. Harry Kane, a 7. Heung-min Son, a 7. The subs, Kulusevski a 7, Perisic a 5, Emerson Royale a 4, and Pape Matar Sarr a 4. Now for a report from the Sunday Express today, and it says here, the main heading, James is spot on to punish sloppy Spurs. Tottenham Hotspur defender Eric Dyer said after the game, sloppy mistakes, we lost possession easily, and we didn't have control of the game at 3-1 when we should have. So they were really poor goals. We shouldn't let them back into the game, and we only have ourselves to blame. Now a report from the Sun newspaper today, and on the back page it says Spurs shocker, con men, boss, let's rip at selfish stars who lack heart. Furious, Antonio Conte launched an astonishing attack on his selfish Spurs flops and the club's 20 years of underachieving. Now, inside the Sun newspaper today, it says, I'll get my coat. Antonio Conte heads for the door after explosive rant at Spurs flops. Antonio Conte is probably still unfamiliar with English football's phrase, come and get me. But his extraordinary post-match outburst after his Tottenham side threw away 2 points in injury time was remarkable even by the Italians' fiery standards. In the report, it says it felt like him begging the Tottenham board, come and sack me, because there is surely no coming back for Antonio Conte from this. Yes, he focused his fury on Tottenham's highly paid stars, and deservedly so, after their performance in the 3-3 draw with bottom side Southampton. But Chairman Daniel Levy and his fellow directors are entitled to ask whether their want-away boss can motivate the dressing room to a top 4 finish after so comprehensively throwing his players under the bus. Now for a couple of stats. Antonio Conte's record at Tottenham. He has taken charge of 76 games since his arrival at Spurs in November 2021. 41 wins, 12 draws and 23 defeats. Now the match stats from the game: Southampton 3, Tottenham Hotspur 3. Southampton had 19 shots to Tottenham's 17. Shots on target: Southampton 7 to Tottenham's 3. Possession 50-50. Passes: Southampton 454, 449 for Tottenham. Touches in the opposition box: Southampton 29, Tottenham 17. Corners: Southampton had 10 to Tottenham's 3. Fouls conceded: Southampton 13 to Tottenham's 8. Yellow cards, 1 apiece. And finally, let's hear from Antonio Conte. This is what he had to say after the match.
Yeah, if we are going to discuss about the penalty, it means that we don't want to see other situation. Because the problem is that for another time we show that we are not a team. We are 11 players that go into the pitch, and I see selfish players that don't want to help each other, don't put the heart. They used it here. Don't play for something important. They don't want to play under pressure. They don't want to play under stress. It's easy in this way. And Tottenham story is this: 20 years that there is the owner and never won something. But why? Only for the fault is only for the club or for every manager that stay here. And I have seen the manager that Tottenham had on the bench. You risk to disrupt the figure of the manager and to protect the other situation in every moment. Until now, I try to hide the situation, but now no. Because I repeat, I don't want to see what I have seen today, because this is unacceptable. Also for the respect for the fans. They follow us, pay the tickets, and to see the team another time, to have this type of performance, for me, I repeat, this is unacceptable. And we have to think a lot. We have to think a lot about this.
Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. I'll see you on the next one. Until then, come on you Spurs.